Hello all, and welcome to the next video here on the Onion Man's Rooftop Two-Headed Cow Caravan of Treasure, and sometimes barter. And we are taking a look at the next issue of Journey into Monthlies. Um, yeah, so got my comic books ordered. These are actually for February. I know we're almost at the end of March here, but I kind of was late on the order. I'm not gonna lie. I had like all my stuff in the cart, and for whatever reason, I never ordered it. I just forgot to place the actual order. I do not do a subscription service to Midtown. I just order my stuff separately because I don't know. I don't like the way Midtown does their shipping. Even if you ask for it monthly, for some reason they always mess up the shipping on stuff. Like when I tried to do that, so never did it. Um, I got a couple things. I got my Midtown order, Midtown Comics, and then I got a random package from eBay. I'll explain what that is in a minute. Because it's what I'm going to open first. So, yeah. We'll go ahead and dive right into this. I still collect comics every month. Not too many of them, but hey. Alright. Oh, that came right out of the packaging. I like these, like, book mailers. They're especially really good for comic books. Oh, this one's like double. They double backboarded it. If you can kind of see what it says, book 1. Oh, you can't. Too blurry. Too small. Oh well, we're going to open it up anyway. Is that the cover side? It is, I think. Yeah. Okay. So I just took out one backboard so I could reveal the cover here. We got the Swamp Thing Green Hell, book 1. This is actually the second printing. I did not get this book on the first printing, and now the first printing issue is kind of hard to find. I saw it on eBay, and it was going for a lot of money, and then I saw, you can still get the second printing pretty cheap, so I got the second printing. Would I like to have the first printing? Yeah, but I wasn't going to pay that price for it. Yeah, this is done by Jeff Lemire and Doug Monk. Is it Monk? Mankey? I don't want to say it's Mankey because that sounds weird. I've never been able to pronounce his last name right, so apologies. But done a lot of great stuff with Spectre, etc. He's kind of the big deal, I guess you could say, in this book. But Green Hell was a book that came out like almost a whole year ago, the first one, this one specifically. And Jeff Lemire was doing the writing. I think Jeff Lemire is a pretty decent Swamp Thing writer. I've always said I like Jeff Lemire's writing. He just can't do teen books. Anytime Jeff Lemire jumps on a teen book, it tends to not be great. But when he did Swamp Thing, it was pretty decent. And his like little short stuff with Constantine has been decent. Not right now, but when he did. Anyway, this is basically the story kind of bringing back Alec Holland. I believe. I didn't read it when it came out, so I actually got to read it and kind of give you that. But yeah, I'm a big Swamp Thing fan. He's one of my favorite comic book characters. And anything with Alec Holland, I'm always down to try. I'm not a big fan of when they try to replace Alec Holland. It never really works out. And I think it's very telling that, like, yeah, they're bringing him back already. So, yeah. I'm willing to give it a shot. I'm not a big fan of the DC Black Label, these wider books. Like, you can tell this is not a normal-sized comic book. It's wide and whatever. And they don't fit in my comic book storage, so I always end up just putting them on the bookshelf. But it's pretty decent. The Black Label has been very, let's just be real here, it's been very miss. There's not a lot of hits in the DC Black Label. And trying to relabel stuff Black Label does not help you, DC. It just makes you look stupid. And I mean that with every fiber in my body. It just makes you look desperate. Like, oh, please like the Black Label. Look, we put Watchmen under Black Label. Nobody cares. So yeah, but I want to read this and give it a shot and see how it is. Like I said, I like Swamp Thing, but it was, I'll get into like why it took a whole year for this to come out in a minute, because I kind of got something that goes with it. This is the Midtown Comics box. Get this open. Whoa. We got... Oh, they packed them separately. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, we got two separate things from Midtown. There's the classic Midtown brown mailers. Remember for a while they were putting them in like plain white bags. I don't know if they just ran out of their brown mailers or what, but it was weirding me out. I'm so used to the brown Midtown mailers, the just brown grocery bags. So we'll open this one first because I bet, just look at the size of it, probably going to go with this thing over here. Oh, there it is. That's backwards, too. Why did they do this? Why do you do this? Midtown has a thing where they put a lot of stuff backwards. Switching it around, sorry. We got Swamp Thing Green Hell #2. It's going to be 3 issues, I believe. So, yeah. And this one's got Constantine in it. So, really happy. And I like that it's kind of like an older John Constantine. Kind of going back to the Vertigo days. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to give these a read. And next month, when if they're any good, I'll pick up the last issue. Even if they're bad, I'll probably pick it up just to finish out the story since I've got the first 2 now. I'll let you know what I thought of them. I can't really give an opinion now other than I'm glad Alec Holland's back. Yeah, cool. Anyways, to kind of piggyback off of this, the reason why book 1 came out a year ago and it took a whole year for book 2 to come out, the artist, Doug, again, I'm sorry I mispronounced his name, Doug Monk, I don't know, Monk, I don't know, apologies, I'm not trying to make light of it. He had some kind of issue in his personal life, so he kind of halted his artwork, and Jeff Lemire and DC kind of respected that and waited for him to, waited for those issues to subside, and then they continued. So they kind of stopped for a year. He came back, and they finished out the next 2 issues, and here we are. So cool. That'll be interesting to read. I'm interested to see how it goes. I like Rom V, but I did not like his Swamp Thing run. Okay, now we got our normal comics here. Let me straighten them out here. Oh, that cover. That's an interesting looking cover. Okay, first one. We got Namor, Conquered Shores #5. I cannot remember if this is the last one or not. I can't remember if it's going for 5 or 6 issues. But this is part 5. It's just a limited run. It's kind of a old man Namor type of story, so it's been pretty decent. I can't say it's great. It started really good, and then it kind of dipped. I am going to see it through and finish it, but yeah, it started really, really hot, kind of dipped. Hopefully it ends hot, and we can kind of give it a big thumbs up. Oh, yes. Is this upside down? It is upside down. Oh, man. Let me fix all these real quick. And as much as I love Midtown, I don't know why everything's either upside down or backwards in the packaging. Like that one. God. And that one. Okay. I think we're good. We got Miracle Man. Issue #4. This is the Neil Gaiman oh, wow. And Gaiman and Buckingham run. Alan Moore, when he stopped writing Miracle Man, he kind of handed it over to Neil Gaiman to finish, and they are letting Neil Gaiman finish it at Marvel. So yeah, I love Miracle Man. If you've never read Alan Moore's Miracle Man run, I highly recommend it. I actually think it's better than Watchmen, and I love Watchmen, but his Miracle Man run is a different level. It's crazy. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things you hope they never make a movie of because they would just ruin it. But Gaiman's doing a really good job with it. Like, it's very seamless. Like, you would think Alan Moore is still writing it when you read this. It's pretty wild how easily Neil Gaiman was able to just take it over. And I know Neil Gaiman's great in his own right, but still. And these covers have been really good. Ghost Rider. I believe we have 2 of these, right? 11 and 12? Yeah. They kind of came out like back to back randomly. But yeah, we have issue 11 and 12. I really like the Ghost Rider covers. They're fantastic. Now, I love Benjamin Percy. I think Benjamin Percy is a great writer. And I've really loved his Ghost Rider run. But now he's bringing back Danny Ketch. And I know there's a lot of Danny Ketch fans out there. I am not. I just prefer Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider. I'm not a big fan of Danny Ketch Ghost Rider, and he's bringing back Danny Ketch. So I'm gonna see how he does it, and if it's good, I'll keep up. But if I gotta read Danny Ketch a bunch, like more so than Johnny Blaze, I'm gonna be upset and drop the series. I just do not like Danny Ketch. Oh, hold up here. I got a creased book. Oh, that sucks. It's a good one too. I mentioned Ron B earlier. This is his Detective Comics run. It's been pretty good. You get a lot of good actual detective work in it, and kind of mix in some supernatural elements with Batman. It works. Usually, I'm not a big fan of trying to mix the supernatural elements of something with the character that it doesn't really belong with. But with Batman, it actually kind of works here. I think Ron V does a good way of balancing it out. But check this out. Sorry. I noticed this. Even in the back and board, we have a crease in the corner. That sucks. You know, you buy a mint comic and it doesn't come mint. What happens to the guy who wants to get something like this graded? Anyway, usually I don't complain about things like that, but I just noticed that one right away. The covers for these have actually been really good, although this one's the first one I'm looking at, and it just kind of looks weird. Batman looks like he has a large body and a tiny head. I don't know what's going on here, and he looks like he's wearing booty shorts. Yeah. Anyways, continuing. We got Daredevil number 8. Looks like we're getting another Daredevil Punisher crossover. There is no Daredevil run without a Punisher crossover. Every Daredevil run, it's like it's written in stone. Must have a Punisher crossover. Even the Netflix show. But I love Chip Darsky. Darsky. I'm just going to say Darsky. His Daredevil has been great. He took it over a couple of years ago. He's been great pretty much on everything he's done with it. He's a great writer. And actually, we're, I think, right behind this. Yep, we're going to take a look at something else he's doing. His Daredevil runs have been good. Yeah, so always looking forward to reading it. It's probably one of the best comics going, and people kind of don't even realize it. I'm a big Daredevil fan, so there you go. We also have Batman, written by Chip Darsky. So yeah, he's double dipping here. He's doing Batman for DC and Daredevil for Marvel. It's wild. I don't think anybody's done that since like Frank Miller, right? Didn't Frank Miller write him at the same time? Or close to the same time? In the 80s? I could be wrong. Anyways, he's doing it now. His Batman run is not as good as his Daredevil run. I'm just going to outright say it. It's good, but it's not as good. I haven't, it's been like kind of a slow burn, and I'm kind of like, okay, where are we going with this? And I want to kind of read it out because it is him, and I really like his Daredevil, and I feel like he can do some great things with Batman, but I'm just still kind of waiting for those great things to happen. So it's been a bit of a disappointing run, I gotta say. But, I'm going to give it a little bit of time and see if it works out, and if not, I'll drop it. But again, much like Daredevil is written in stone that he must cross over with Punisher, Batman is in modern times written in stone that he must do something with Catwoman. Yeah, lest we forget those Tom King days. Man, those were bad. If you like Tom King's Batman, again, something wrong. X-Men Legends. I love the X-Men Legends book. If you're a fan of classic 80s and 90s X-Men, pick this book up. It's fantastic. Each issue, each couple of issues is like a little mini story, and they bring back writers to tell those stories. So yeah, looks like we got a Bishop story. Bishop, kind of an underrated character, kind of weird. Like, it's his fault some stuff happens. Anyway, but yeah, my favorite one still is a while back in the first run of this, Peter David did a X Factor like 3-issue mini story. He came back and did an X Factor story, and it was awesome. So really cool. And we have the last issue, 6 of 6 of Sergeant Rock versus the Army of Dead. And I know what you're thinking. Why is Sergeant Rock fighting the Army of the Dead? Because it's being written by Bruce Campbell. That's right, the Bruce Campbell. It's been hokey but fun. It's schlocky, zombie Sergeant Rock fun. And I know Sergeant Rock probably works best as a more serious character. I still say Sergeant Rock is one of the, especially Hell in a Hard Place, is one of the only good stories Brian Azzarello ever wrote. That's a hot take, because I know he's got a lot of fans. I'll just say it now. I don't like him. But that is a good story. So yeah, it's kind of kind of weird to see Sergeant Rock in this more hokey, kind of funny Army of the Dead story, but it works. I like it. So yeah, it's been fun. And last issue, so we have Immoral X-Men. This is just I know it's kind of a weird name. This is just a continuation of Immortal X-Men. Kieran Gillen is still writing. And we're going into the Sins of Sinister arc, which is the big Mr. Sinister arc going on. Sorry. Yeah. I like Immortal X-Men. I think X-Men actually are one of the few comic books I would say work best when you're kind of looking at it from the outside in. Like that kind of, what's a good way to put it? Like in their own bubble, I guess you could say. And I think he's done a pretty decent job of doing that. I am interested as to why they called this number 1, but this is actually part 4 of the Sins of Sinister. Is what it is. But it's been pretty decent. I'm not a big Mr. Sinister fan, to be fair, but he has his moments, and in this, I think it works. And lastly, we have issue 8 of 12. This is a maxi series. Black Adam. Big Black Adam fan. I've always liked him. And yeah, it's Christopher Priest. Jim Owsley, if you will, who ruined Hobgoblin. But I am a big Christopher Priest fan. His Power Man and Iron Fist is awesome. And this Black Adam book has actually been pretty cool, too. You get to see a different side of Teth Adam. And I think it's... Oh. My nose. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. And the covers have mostly been good. I don't think this one's the greatest, but yeah, I don't know who this is on the cover. It's like random dude as Black Adam. Like if this had a more traditional Black Adam like head design, it'd look pretty cool. But it's been a good book, and this is 8 of 12, so we got 4 more to go, and then we're done with it. But I've liked it. It kind of goes into the history of Black Adam pretty decently. So yeah. Okay, now my favorite part of this, I get to pick the cover I like the most. The Black Adam covers have actually won a couple of months. Not this month though. I don't know, something off with that one. Immortal X-Men, no. Sergeant Rock, no. Legends, definitely not. As much as I like the Legends series, some of the comic book covers have been rough. So no. I do like this. Like the silhouette of Punisher and Daredevil fighting each other looks cool, but I can't say it's necessarily that great of a cover. Detective Comics has won a couple of months as well, especially during this Ron V run. But I'm not going to give it this one. Like I said, Batman looks like he has a tiny head and booty shorts on. I don't know, or short shorts, Daisy Duke, something. I don't know what's going on there. Ghost Rider has won a lot. These Ghost Rider covers, they're really good, and they've won a lot of my covers of the favorite covers of the month in recent times. So, contenders there. The Miracle Man covers are also great, but not so much on this one. I'm not feeling this one. Namor. No. I do like the Swamp Thing Green Hell covers. This one especially. The first printing, it's like red. This one's all green. That one had a red tint, but that's not a part of this month, technically. And I like this one. I'm still not sure. Like, I like the older Constantine. I don't know if this is exactly the best look for him, though. So, it's down to 2 Ghost Rider covers. We have the Flaming Skull, and then what I'm going to guess is Johnny Blaze looking back at Danny Ketch. Wow. I know I said I don't like Danny Ketch, but I'm going to give it to this one. I'm going to give it to Ghost Rider number 11. The look of, like, him scared, looking back, and you can kind of see, like, the reflection in his eyes, and then in the mirror, it looks really cool. I like that. I think it's just a cool design and look. Very horror movie poster-esque. Like The Hitcher or something. Like, you remember that movie? With Rutger Hauer. Was it Rutger Hauer? Oh. I think it was. Either way, cool. I like it. It works. So, there you go. Those are our comic books for the month. For February 2023. Yeah, and we're already at the end of March, so in the next week or so, I got to put in my order for my March comics. So, yay, happy days. Cool. If you like the video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. You do not have to if you do not want to, but I always appreciate anybody who does. And I will catch you guys in whatever the next video may be.